Hi. I guess this is for any K-pop fan. I guess probably, but this was posted by Moa. I think y'all are called Moa's TXT fans. Well, they post. This is the normalized sexualization of male idols re-uploaded. I am nosy, so I wanted to see this. And you know what? Part of the reason why I decided to get into multiple groups is to be more involved in stuff like this, I guess. I'm just curious to see where this is going. And I wanted to see it with y'all. Because why not? So,
what's up? Today's content will cover a topic I've been dying to address for a long time. Some of you might remember that one time back in March when I posted on my community tab this little poll asking which one of the 3 given options you'd like me to make a video on. And by democratic vote, I picked the most popular one for today. So, as you may guess from the title, it's time for me to discuss male idols and the normalized sexualization they face on a daily basis, and how not enough people are talking about it. Because it's about time that we do. I'd like to give a fair warning that this video includes mature themes, so viewer discretion is especially advised for the underage audience, and that the 6 sections of this video heavily involve my own personal opinion, so please don't write my words into the gospel. Without further ado, let's begin. If you've been a spectator to the K-pop scene for a long time, you might have noticed a pattern of K-pop stans not exactly knowing specific terms or definitions and throwing them around mindlessly, or having no idea what those words mean. Sexualization is one of those terms. Some mistake or confuse the definition so much that they themselves are unsure or unaware whether or not their behavior online or even offline is predatorily inappropriate or simply complimentary. I'm only saying this as I've seen many K-pop stans have that dilemma. So to put an end to it, per textbook definition, sexualization is the act of placing value on a person's appearance and sexual appeal above all other characteristics.
I'm safe. You know, for a second, part of the reason why I wanted to ask this, I was curious. I was curious to see if I fit part of the stands, I guess. Stands who do this. I'm safe. Because I know for a fact I don't do this. I mean, yes, obviously appearance does play a role. It's important in everything in life, but it's not the most important thing. So yeah, I'm just happy to see to know that I'm safe. But I'm still gonna watch this because I'm curious where this is going.
By doing so, the person becomes an object for others' sexual use rather than being seen as an individual with the capacity for independent agency.
Disgusting.
In other words, it basically means to see someone or something in sexual terms, or sexually exciting to them. It does not just happen in K-pop, it happens everywhere, and no public figure with a large following is an exception to it. Sexualization is commonly associated with media exploitation, which includes the publication of nude people on magazine covers, actors or actresses displaying nudity in explicit scenes in film media, dressing celebrities in short clothing against their will, or in the form of catcalling. In the case of K-pop, it's often found in choreography, concept or clothing, all usually done by the companies. They're, so to speak, the bullet in the gun that then spawns the excuses people use to justify their disturbing behavior. Because if you asked me what I think the trigger of mass sexualization in K-pop specifically is, I would probably say the suggestive and sexually inappropriate way fans speak about idols, whether male or female. In my opinion, this is the part where the topic becomes trickier to debate about, as everyone has a different view on what is acceptable and what is not, and some people also have a higher tolerance to certain fan behaviors than others, especially when it comes to male idols, but more on that later. In K-pop, we are known to have 2 types of stans, soft stans, and hard stans. Soft stans are the ones who prefer the cuter and brighter side of K-pop, while hard stans prefer the darker, sexier and edgier side. And as you may guess,
what if you like both though? I want a mixture of both. No, I don't just lean to one side. Just somewhere in the middle. I'm somewhere in the middle. I like balance sometimes. Not I don't always find balance in things, but I like to try at least.
Hard stans are the ones with the bigger issue of sexualization than soft stans.
Yeah, probably.
Because it's all fun and games until you screw up and cross the line. Personally, I don't think there's a problem with K-pop stans simping for and gushing over male idols by calling them sexy, hot or attractive.
Because they
You're
are.
meaning to tell me I'm supposed to say oh my gosh NCT are so cute for being shirtless in baggy jeans. Gimme a break. I wouldn't be saying that even if you held me at gunpoint. Neither is making those type of edits on social media. Complimenting them for their face or figure without sounding like a creep is still tolerable. And screaming or showing shock when a male idol lifts his shirt up, dances sexily or acts hot is still a millimeter below the limit.
I mean, that's
at
why
the end of the day.
Right?
These male idols are adults, and they have the right to express themselves however they want if they want to get a reaction out of it.
Yep.
They won't stay young forever, and K-pop stans need to respect that too and not treat or see them as kids. However, it starts becoming a problem when you start showing too much interest in seeing more of the idol's muscles, sexiness or sexual appeal, not their personality or talents, and straight up thirst for them. Leaving comments with emojis such as an eggplant, a sweaty face or a pregnant person under their posts, where idols can see them is pushing a button you shouldn't push. Saying things such as I want his tip in me, I want to be in between their hips.
Those are going to... well, I opened the jar I shouldn't have opened. I guess I have to continue now. Ooh, but like those sentences I'm going to, oh my goodness, my brain will be replaying what I heard. Ugh. Why would somebody comment? Okay.
He can have my babies. I want him to choke me or I want a headlock from him. Just to give a few examples of what I've seen on my own. And actually meaning it is disgusting. Even if it's just a dirty joke, it still crosses the line. These are real people who don't know you in real life, not your best friends. Not only that, creating posts dedicated to talking about how they would be in bed or uploading tweets saying things like now we know who's loud in bed or having public discussion about their private parts is actually unbelievable. And a whole handful of other things are harmful as well. But what?
Yo, imagine.
Before getting into this section, let me get this straight. Beauty standards should be given half of the blame here. Not just the Korean beauty standards specifically, but beauty standards just in general.
Let me try to guess. I know this
rooted within our society that men need to be fit in order to be considered hot or sexy for both the male and female audience. You will constantly find the media portraying muscular and bulky men as the ideal standard for advertisements or the face of a brand deal. This especially happens when models are casted for sports gear ads. Because no way can someone who's the epitome of a couch potato star in my Nike's commercial. With how commercialized and widespread these ads are, it's safe to assume that any male individual is aware of this expectation. This obviously puts a lot of pressure on male idols, as they are expected to follow the same mold and have the bodybuilder kind of figure, which requires extreme, vigorous workouts. Whether you like to admit it or not, K-pop stans, both male and female, are often naturally attracted to men who have abs or a fit body and oftentimes make them popular for it. You have seen this happening with many male idols such as Jungkook of BTS, Wonho, Kai of EXO, Son of 80s, Mingyu of 17.
Okay, but like that's not the only reason Jungkook is trending and all over the internet. Just wanted to say, yes, it's his body obviously, but that boy has a voice. Has a voice. I'm saying boy like he's not a grown-ass man. That man has a voice. And also his personality, he's such a sweetie.
Changbin and Bang Chan of Stray Kids.
Yeah,
Taehyun of TXT. And the list goes on. Really, it goes on. It has gotten to a point where people begin putting labels on them as the hot guy or the fit muscular guy and go ballistic the moment they catch a glimpse of their muscles. I can't even count with my fingers just how many sexual comments fans have left under.
No, but like the fact that you mentioned Jungkook and you did not mention Namjoon is weird. Because Namjoon also, his body's like... But anyway.
Clips of male idols showing their biceps or abdomens whether at concerts or other events. And just how many zoomed in photos of either their bare torsos or unmentionable parts get shared around. Without any consequence by the way. And I'm not even in the mood to sit down and talk in detail about how often I've seen K-pop stans edit bras onto male idols that have a firmer buffer chest and then proceed to talk about them having big hearts. I know what y'all are doing. You're not as slick as you think you may be. This goes beyond complimenting them for their figure. You're basically only liking them because of their body and the sex appeal that comes with it.
I still
And
don't
now comes
understand
an
how.
important question. What would happen if that idol loses all that muscular definition eventually due to dieting or stopping fitness exercise?
They will
Would fans
disappear
still have a
like the
reason to
wind.
like them because the factor that attracted them, their chiseled body, is no longer there? To counterpart this, what about idols who aren't considered sexy simply because they don't have a six-pack or fit, muscular body? Baekhyun of EXO pressured himself into working out so he could have abs. Jongho of
Shame.
80s received complaints from fans for not being as sexy as his members. Kai of
Shame.
TXT constantly endures fat shaming for having thicker thighs and a broader torso. To name a few. What does this mean for male idols then? The likely answer is that they'll force themselves onto harsh diets to lose weight or gain muscles, like Jimin of BTS did. And if they don't know their limits, they will face long-time consequences on their health. All because of.
Every time I hear about the whole Jimin diet thing, it hits here. It hits here. Cause I just wanna hold him by the neck and say, dude, you're good enough. Just stop. Stop listening to them. I just wanna. Can you stop?
Fans complaining about their bodies. Just why? Why do you have to talk about them so much?
Don't listen to them.
But girly, why does this bother you so much? Shouldn't men expect this if they act provocatively? I have a real question for you. What if that was not a man? As a woman myself, I would be the last one to downplay or undermine the sexualization women face as well. This is not to compare them and say who has it worse with how much it happens. It's a comparison of how much it's talked about. Because let's not lie, we have all noticed the difference. K-pop stans are always ready to jump to a woman's defense the moment they are on the brink of or are being sexualized. It has happened.
I just want to say, I'm not really on the girl group stance side because I'm mostly a girl group. I'm mostly a boy group girly. I'm more of a boy group girly. So I have no idea what happens with the girls at all. So I cannot really say anything on this one.
Happened when photos of their cleavage, hips or legs are posted, when female minors do sexy concepts, older male fans are too close, men are eyeing them predatorily, or when online users upload suggestive content. You could see this defensive behavior happening when an interviewer was glancing at many of G-Idol's legs during a 2020 interview, where she even tried to cover herself. Or when New Jeans fans expressed concern over an older male fan placing his hands close to Minji. And you will see this happening when fan account owners caption their posts with weird sexual innuendos and comments towards women. Even people complimenting or talking about a female idol's body is enough for fans to jump to their defense and calling them out for sexualizing them, even if they weren't. That fans rush to do their job right to protect women is not a problem. But whenever a male idol faces the same, all you hear is crickets. You cannot fool me into thinking the reaction towards male idols being sexualized is the same when I've barely seen K-pop stans utter a peep when it happens.
Double
you guys
standards.
do realize that sharing zoomed-in pictures or videos of a male idol's pectorals, abs, and private areas on social media platforms is borderline online sexual harassment, right? Some fans even go as far as to upload videos they accidentally took of male idols changing backstage after getting off the main stage. No, I'm not even making this up. I saw this happening to Taehyun of TXT and also Jae and Nicki of ENHYPEN on their world tour. One Us also went on tour in late 2022 and someone apparently groped Kyunhee during the VIP meet and greet, and faced zero consequences. Not to mention that somebody seriously asked Taemoon on Twitter how did it feel to be in front of Seoho's D-word. Or that one instance where a stay posted an inappropriate picture of Hyunjin that should never have been posted online. Point is, there's no way in hell that fans would let this behavior slide if it happened to a woman. And let me bring something else into the discussion. Why are you guys not protecting minors who are boys? Everyone was screaming when the video of Hyuna dancing inappropriately at 14 years old resurfaced. When New Jeans released Cookie, K-pop stans jumped on top of the world's tallest skyscraper to call Hybe and Min Heejin out. ITZY performed Bad Girl Good Girl when Yuna was 15 and JYP was drilled to the floor by Midseas expressing concern for her. But when minors such as Nicki of ENHYPEN danced to Fever when he had barely turned 15, I didn't see any engines cause a major uproar saying it's unacceptable that he performs a dance.
I thought of that when I saw the fever thing. I was wondering how old he was in that, but I decided not to tap into it. I decided to just. It is questionable. It really is.
It's like that. Instead, fans happily streamed his fan cams and talked about his sex appeal. That's a freaking child, you all. And yes, he's still a minor in Japan and Korea as the legal age is 20 and he's only 18. Don't even get me started on Taemin. He was nowhere near being a grown adult when interviewers would openly sexualize and feminize him despite Taemin showing clear discomfort. If any of the stuffed male idol's face would happen to a female idol, you would be screaming. Instead, you're dead silent, and anybody who tries to call this behavior out is either shut down or shunned by other K-pop stans by accusing them of being an infantilizer. Double standards, I tell you. Which bears the question, why exactly do K-pop stans get away with acting like this with male idols?
Why, Bill?
I like having answers for things I'm curious about, and I'm assuming a few of you are waiting for the reason as to why exactly male sexualization is so normalized. Problem is though, I don't have an answer for you. I searched day and night for a concrete answer online, and I found nothing that could give me or any of you a.
My answer is because they are males. Like we said, double standards. It's everywhere in the world. Because they are men. They are men. People just think it's okay. They are men. It's fine. It's not though.
Satisfactory explanation. Because only saying K-pop stans just don't care is not enough. And it would make you wonder why they don't care.
I think I'm seeing Mingyu. I'm not sure.
Because debating is a lot of fun, I decided to provide three possibilities, not facts,
what's his name
as
again?
to why K-pop stans and society as a whole have ultimately agreed that men being sexualized is perfectly fine and acceptable. 1. The stigma of men liking the attention. Stigma is referred to as a set of negative and often unfair beliefs that a society or group of people have about something. And we cannot deny that society holds the belief that men like all the attention on their bodies, and use it against anyone who tries to speak up on them possibly being sexualized. That's literally the first excuse that comes out of K-pop stans' mouths when an idol acts provocatively and they begin objectifying him. I have seen comments such as, well, he lifted his shirt willingly, or he's hot, I can't help it, or he's over 18, it's fine every time this happens. The question is though.
Okay, but like his over 18 line is kind of questionable. Why would you say? Well, he's over 18. Well, does that mean you get to do that to Nicki now? Because Nicki's over 18. You know what? I think that's part of the reason why. No, never mind.
What if that wasn't done willingly? Or what if the idol had to do this move because the choreographers made them do it? Or even better, what if the idol did this because he's well aware that fans like him for his abs and his abs only? I get that you guys want to praise them for being fit, but being thirsty for their body and saying repulsive things is not a compliment. That's verbal sexual harassment. Also, why do you guys keep using somebody's age as an excuse to act like predators? It's not okay if they're 18, and it's not okay if they're 25 either. On a different note, this generation is also so hellbent on breaking stereotypes in gender roles, but they sure as hell aren't doing that for men. The idea that men like the attention on their bodies stems from gender roles, as longtime traditionally masculine characteristics also includes the expectation of them having to be tough and muscular, and asserting confidence and control. And by placing so much interest in their bodies and claiming they're okay with all this attention, when you don't know that, is not exactly helping break those stereotypes either. 2. The knowledge it's worse and more common for women. Let me ask my female audience something. That doesn't make it right. How often have you had somebody tell you don't wear this? It's too revealing. Make sure you only have one earbud in. Have pepper spray in your bag, or come home before it's dark. Because if you've heard one of the following statements, or something similar, you probably know the reason why. Girls are told these things because women are far more likely to be sexually assaulted than men, and suffer far greater and detrimental consequences such as unwanted pregnancies or transmitted diseases. With this information in mind, even if you think it's a bit of a stretch, 'cause God forbid it happens to any of them, It's no surprise that K-pop stans are far more defensive about female exploitation, especially when it's more common for women to face sexualization in and out of K-pop. Just think about Marilyn Monroe, who's famous for being a sex icon, or Emma Watson, who came out of her 18th birthday party just for the paparazzi to take pictures of under her skirt because her being underage could no longer protect her. Or think about K-pop groups like Stellar or AOA, all known for doing explicit concepts that almost ended up on the Black and Yellow website. Besides, if someone presented you the question of who's more likely to wear short and revealing outfits, it'd be girl groups. Female idols such as Irene or Joy of Red Velvet are infamous for constantly pulling down their skirts that kept riding up during performances, or the members of Momoland for being given shorts that barely covered their behinds. And in the movie industry, actresses are constantly exploited in explicit scenes or in shows centered around 18+ content. Why does it happen to them especially? Because they're women. Plus the patriarchal belief they're nothing more than just pretty faces whose only worth is pleasuring their husband and being in the kitchen, or that they're incapable of being independent. Due to how widespread these beliefs are and with how much it happens, it's no wonder that this generation is extremely protective of women and female idols. And that's why nobody takes the sexual exploitation of men seriously, not only because it's quote-unquote not as extreme, but also because it doesn't support the idea that men have it better.
It is extreme though.
Misandry is at this point my favorite word to use on this channel, as it serves as a reminder to you all that it exists and is very much alive today.
What's misandry?
For the ones who don't know what that word means, it's basically misogyny but make it towards men. There are so many people who think that just because an idol is male, they have every right to sexualize him because he's a man. It's okay. Or that he's a man. He can't be sexualized when he has the power to F women. And I'm here to tell you it's not okay. Replace the words with she's a woman. It's okay. And you will immediately say what the fuck, no it's not okay. Gender should not be an excuse for anything. Male sexualization is still sexualization. And if you think it deserves the free pass because men are bad and should suffer, you clearly are the issue as to why male idols cannot tell people off for speaking so disgustingly of them. Call me a pygmy for saying this, but male idols should not be blamed for these patriarchal systems, because they themselves are victims of it too. Put yourself in their shoes for a minute. Imagine being told you have to suck it up and just take people saying they would love to jump into bed with you because you're a man, that this is just how it is, and that this is your fans' way of showing they love you, and if they cry or complain about it, they're weak, pathetic, and not real men. It's sickening and cruel. Men might be the so-called dominant gender, but that doesn't mean they don't have problems.
This whole "you're not a real man" thing, I just... Okay.
And if you think they don't just cause they're men, then clearly the world is doomed and heading in the wrong direction.
Baby girlism.
You're welcome for making you snort after covering some intense topics. I'm pretty sure most of you have seen the term baby girl pop up on your feed several times over the past 1.5 years alone, whether in or outside of K-pop. A good handful of these people use this term whenever a male idol acts cute, innocent, and some might even say feminine or girly, as well as possessing certain traits typically associated with female individuals. But not once have I ever seen anyone stopping to check the actual meaning behind it. So guess what I did? That's right. And you can read the definition for yourself for a moment.
Now I'm curious.
Yes, I'm aware that there's many double meanings and multiple definitions to this term, but the fact alone that this is one of them should raise concerns and make us realize that it's better to not use that word. In case it hasn't clicked for you yet, this word is a freaking kink trying to paint someone as sweet and harmless and putting emphasis or high interest on their innocence. And let me tell you, these idols are not the innocent kindergartners you fooled yourself into thinking they are. I should make a video about infantilization one day too. Back to the topic before I get sidetracked. Dismissing a male idol's masculinity by painting them in an innocent and girly way is not the right way to solve sexualization. Because treating them like girls when I would assume they all identify as male is equally as bad. Just look at Taemin again for example. The interviewers had zero shame telling him he's a pretty princess, and despite him clearly being uncomfortable with it, they didn't stop. You might be telling me I'm only saying this online where they can't see it, but what if your online behavior makes it into their concerts and you hold up a banner saying you're so baby girl for them to see? Have fun mentally debating about this in your mind. The solution to sexualization isn't forbidding male idols to act sexy or...
Wait, I'm still processing calling him pretty princess in an interview to his face. Besides just saying it in general. But who did that? Okay.
Hot to sing about adult stuff and preventing them from acting the way they want to, either. That's literally a violation of their human rights. They have every right in the world to express themselves however they want to as long as they aren't hurting anyone, particularly if they themselves are comfortable with it. The solution is that fans need to stop behaving the way they do towards men when any of the above happens. Let me make it clear to you, this has to stop. These male idols are just as human as you are, and if you care about them and the safety of their own dignity, you need to start treating them as people made out of flesh and blood, not as objects that feed your sexual desires. Nobody deserves to be treated like that. How can we put an end to this? Let's start off by not sharing zoomed-in pictures of their torsos, whether their abdomen or pectorals, or their private parts, as that will lead to a mass train of sexualization, cause that, as I mentioned earlier, is borderline online sexual harassment. Continue by reporting posts that repeatedly speak vulgarly about idols, regardless of their age, because they're making it clear that they're perverts.
The internet
I know
is
it
scary.
sounds crazy, but men wouldn't want to be preyed on either. More importantly, however, save your sexual comments to yourself and don't post them online. That your stupid hormones act up from time to time is something you cannot control, but you definitely can control your fingers from typing something explicit under an idol's post or fan cam. That responsibility and choice lays in your hands and it's on you and you only, because nobody is blackmailing you to post this kind of stuff online, and if somebody is, please scream for help. We live in a world where everyone has access to social media. These idols can see what we talk about, and they will definitely feel uncomfortable reading your comments. This is something we all have to work on, myself included, as I am guilty of a few things in this video in the past and am trying my best to not do ever again. So I hope you all do the same.
Oh, let me see. Am I guilty of anything? I don't think so. And I'm proud of myself for that. Proud of myself.
And we're done. Finally, I'm pretty sure I gave you all a headache from the overuse of certain words, cause I have one now too. I hope this video was a good intake on this topic, especially because I struggled to come up with good points for section 5 especially. Whatever your thoughts on the sexualization of male idols are or what solutions you think you can come up with for this, feel free to write them down in the comment section and be part of the discussion. Wishing you all a good rest of the day or night, and see you in the next video. Bye.
Do I have solutions? No, I don't. I feel like if I try to think of solutions, I'm only gonna stress myself out. I usually try to stay away from the side of the internet. I think that's probably why I did not know most of these things, because I'm not on the side of the internet. And I will say this again, I am proud of that. I prefer not to be on the side of the internet. It sounds stressful for me personally, because my personality cannot handle these things. So I do not have solutions. I'm not like this, and I'm happy. I'm actually proud, and I cannot understand how a person can be like this. Like I can imagine kind of. I still cannot understand it, like at all. Like how can you just so, how though? Like, you know, besides the whole posting things, just the thoughts in general, like besides the whole typing them and just posting it for the public to know, is the fact that you had the thought. Like, I'm not even judging for having the thought. I just personally don't have those thoughts to that level. If I were to even guess my level, I would say level 1. Is when I usually see idols doing these sexy things, I'm just usually almost like, oh, okay, sir, calm down. And that's pretty much it. Like my thought process does not really like run like that. So like, it's just a little weird for me. Like, I can understand people can have those thoughts. I do understand that 100%. But the level the level that some people reach, just it baffles me. And then to go and type that for everyone to see, it's weird. It's weird. You know what? Here's my solution. Before you actually type what you're going to type for the world to see, imagine yourself being that person and imagine how you would react and how you would feel seeing something like that about yourself. And if you do not like it, just don't type it. And if you still like it but it's still wrong, I don't know what to say to you. Go to therapy, I guess. I don't know. That's all I got for this video, y'all. Thank you all for watching. Whoever is watching this, because this is not directly at a specific fandom. So I have no idea who will be watching this video. If you're watching this video, I would like you to comment and tell me which fandom you're from. If you have made it this far, because I'm talking a lot. The fandom, and then tell me your thoughts about this, because I'm curious. Those are my thoughts. I want to know yours. Thank you all for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye.